Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be sewing the flower block for the Walkabout Quilt-a-long. So if you've missed any of our previous videos for the quilt blocks, I'm going to be referring you back to one of the first videos which will give you an overall view of the Walkabout Quilt-a-long. So if you've missed any of that, make sure you go back to the beginning. There's going to be a link in the description for that first video. That will give you all the details that you need, as well as the information on how you can get a copy of the PDF patterns that we are going to be using during this. You can also head to my website at Patchwork Posse, and then in the search, look up Walkabout Quilt-a-long, and all of those blog posts will show up to help you get you on track and catch you up. Let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look at what block we are going to be sewing today. All right, so I have my blocks all cut and I've got it kind of laid out on my sewing machine, and the first thing I'm going to do is start sewing them into rows. So to do that, I'm just going to start on the left side and sew the next piece over to it, and then continuing down each row. So I'm just going to lay right sides together, line up my edge. If you need to pin, that is just fine, and then just sew these together. I'm going to snip off the top and open it, and then I'm going to grab my last piece and I'm going to go ahead and sew this together and repeat that all the way down. So I'm just going to make sure I don't flip the wrong piece, that everything is lined up right. Now for the bottom area where the leaf is, what I'm going to do is take my piece and do right sides together. Now on the green leaf, you can go ahead and either fold this in half diagonally and make a crease line if you want, or you can grab a pencil and draw a line from corner to corner. But after you mark that, if you'd like, you're going to just lay right sides together. Now I know the leaf square is smaller than the background, and that is just fine. And what we're going to do is stitch from corner to corner. Now if you'd like on this, you can do a pivot and take a couple stitches, and then pivot again and sew that extra line. What this does is allows you to have kind of a free half square triangle. So I'm going to cut right down the center of the two seams. And now I have my leaf piece with the background, as well as an extra half square triangle that I can keep for another project. So I'm going to finger press this to the dark side. I'm going to repeat the process with this square, and I'm going to sew from corner to corner. I'm going to cut it in between the two sewn lines, and now I've got two half square triangles. So I'm going to set aside one because I don't need it, and then I'm going to open this up. I can press this or just do a finger press really quick.
So now I have my bottom piece where I've got the 2 leaves and then the stem. So I'm going to grab that, right sides together again. Open this up and I'm going to add my second leaf. All right, now that I have all my pieces sewn, what I can do, these are kind of connected, so they've stayed together in the order that they need. If you find that they're not in the right order, go ahead and snip them apart. But we are going to now sew the rows together. So we're just going to start at the top. I'm going to leave them connected just because it keeps everything straight for me. I'm going to line up this top edge, right sides together. And what we're going to do is nest these seams. So we're going to push one seam to one direction. The other seam goes the opposite direction, as you can see. And they kind of pull together, and that is what is called nesting your seams. If I want, I can go ahead and put a pin in here and then do the same for the other side. So I can get these apart and then nest the seams again and place a pin to hold it. So now I'm going to just stitch these together. Then I'm going to repeat the process. So you can open it up. We've got nice seam intersections right there, and I'm going to place right sides together. Now I'm going to leave this side up because I can see where this seam is going, and I can make sure my seam on the other side is going the opposite direction. So this really helps the block lay flat and nice, and you don't get a lot of bulk. So I'm going to go ahead and pin this one and stitch it down. Now that I have the top of my flower done, I'm going to add it to the bottom, which has the stem. Again, I'm going to line these up. You'll notice that the stem and the bottom of the flower do not line up. So we're not going to really worry about these seams. I am going to push them to the center so you don't get a shadow on the back side. With that done, we have our block complete. So we can go ahead and give this a good press, but